So, to be honest, I haven't seen a single episode of The Amazing Digital Circus, except from this one. The only context I had while watching this final episode was that my gay son dressed up as the rabbit for Halloween, and he violently dragged me from my comfort zone of watching sports and consuming lethal amounts of drugs so I can watch a rabbit kill himself. Worst come down ever. Now, what I thought was going to be a children's show actually turns out to be a psychological horror where all the main cast try not to kill themselves for reasons. The only way to avoid killing yourself in this virtual reality is to trauma dump.
I know. I think I've always known. It just, for some reason, still hurts so much to hear it.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Right, you find the nearest person and then tell them all of your problems while having a little cry. Who the fuck's the audience for this show? Fucking iDubbbz.
It's frustrating because
I'm gay.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
This rabbit character, who is called Jax, then offs himself, presumably by trying to perform a infinite money glitch, sending his ass to the shadow realm and transforming him into a biblically accurate angel. This is where we're going to get into the crux of the actual story here, but before we do, we need to talk about what the fuck is even going on. So, all these characters that you're looking at right now, turns out they're real people from our world who are trapped in a virtual game. And basically, like, the jester girl works in a bar or something, this chess piece, he's a stay-at-home dad, and the rabbit is transgender. The clothes were all there if you think about it. He beats women, he cross-dresses, but most importantly, he fucking kills himself. Upon seeing someone who has been manipulating her turn into pure nightmare fuel, the jester girl decides to pull out a fucking strap. I have no context here, but she pulls out a strap, shoots out the lights, and then hugs the fucking eye monster, which apparently allows her to see his backstory, right? And his backstory is that he fucking turned out, possibly killed his mum, and then ran away from home.
Regret telling her something deep and personal that I thought would get her off my back. But she laughed at me. At the end of all of it, she hugged me, and I pushed her off me with all the force I could.
Now, Jax is a character whose entire existence is based upon annoying everyone else around him, and even sometimes, occasionally, pushing them to kill themselves because he's that annoying of a person, right? And funny enough, right after he dies, right, and he's, you know, it's fucking nightmare fuel, everyone is just magically happier. You know what? This might be the most accurate trans representation in media I've ever seen. The Citizen Kane of Troon media. But anyway, remember how it says that these people are actually trapped in a virtual game? Well, no, they're not. Turns out they're just copies, right? They're just digital copies, right? Like, the real people who put on, like, I don't know, did they put on like a virtual headset or something, right? Apparently they're existing, like, they're still living their lives.
And is hanging out with new friends more often. She even has some of them in her videos with her, which she still posts on occasion. Roy Mateo. After being unhoused for a few months, he was able to room with one of his close friends. He seems to have gotten a stable job and is able to pay rent.
So that leaves this question: what the fuck is this place and who the fuck are these people? This movie turned my gay son into an artificially thought daughter and can't even be bothered to explain its own lore. This was not worth the $20 admission. Why don't we have a gander at the person who created this? And oh, lovely, very really giving me a tuning out the disco vibes here. Now, my understanding of Jax as a character is that he's a repulsive, manipulative freak of nature who makes everyone's lives around him miserable up until he kills himself. And he also beats women, you know, just a side gig. And according to Goosebox, is very adamant that this is actually them. This is their self-insert. So the question is, why would you make the objectively worst person, right, in your show, your own self-insert? What did the creator mean by this? Do your intrusive thoughts include choking out women and pushing your friends to kill themselves? Jax also comes from an abusive household, and by abusive household, I mean his mother emasculated him so much he decided to start wearing dresses.
When I showed weakness, I was less of a man than him. When I lashed out, I was just as bad as him. It was confusing.
What's that?
So, if we're to believe that this is not just a allegory or a character, but in fact a self-insert, and as a matter of fact Goosebox's own journey to being transgender, then it really makes you wonder, really makes you think, what exactly is wrong with people who cut off their own dicks? All of the Jax's trans subtlety went out the window the second he killed himself. That was a pretty big giveaway. You know, I just can't imagine the life of the slot-consuming freaks who enjoy this therapy session disguised as a web series. If you actually genuinely like this, stop it. Get some help. Watch Fight Club. Regain some testosterone before you two turn into a fucking eye monster.